The House floor as lawmakers hold a final vote on the Inflation Reduction Act. For more, we bring in ABC News business reporter Alexis Christoforous, ABC Zohreen Shah. Alexis, it is called the Inflation Reduction Act. How does it do it?
Well, most economists seem to have a consensus right now, and that is that if this bill does indeed become law, it will do very little to bring down the high prices we are all experiencing. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So there's a nonpartisan group called the Congressional Budget Office, and they looked at this, they scored the bill, and they said it will have negligible effect on inflation. Those are their words. Also out today, a University of Pennsylvania Penn Wharton analysis said that it would only reduce annual inflation by 0.1 percentage points over the next 5 years. So if you are looking to this to help you with your groceries, your gas, your rent, it's not going to do it.
So what will it be helpful with then?
Well, you know, it is going, most of this is going to be paid for by raising taxes on large American corporations and also on the wealthy. And while it won't be raising taxes directly for millions of Americans, they could indirectly be impacted by companies now having to pay more in taxes. Those companies may have used that money to expand, to hire more workers and to give out wages. So that's one of the things it's going to do. There are also some tax credits it's offering folks. When it comes to clean energy, EVs, for example, if you go out and buy an electric car. Problem is, if you read the fine print, a lot of the electric cars already on the market are not eligible for the tax credit.
Okay, worth noting there, big asterisk. Zohreen, bringing you in here, any hiccups before this final vote? I mean, we're watching it happen. Do we expect all Democrats to vote in favor?
We expect all Democrats to vote in favor. Look, this was delayed just a little bit. There are a large number of representatives who are proxy voting, so that delays it just a touch. And then you had Speaker Pelosi, you had Leader Hoyer give a few remarks in the beginning, but also you had Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy blast the bill for nearly an hour. That delayed it just a touch. But Democrats are expected to get this done and pass it. It's supposed to be close, razor thin, just like it was in the Senate, where it was 50-50, and you had the VP have to break the tie. They also got through a lot of procedural hurdles, which delayed it just a little bit as well. We don't have any Republican support so far. And after all of this happens, Pelosi is expected to have an enrollment ceremony, and then it's supposed to land on Biden's desk.
All right, Zohreen, I'm going to pick up on what you just said there. Landing, we assume, on the desk imminently. But as you point out, Alexis, this is more a long-term change for most Americans. I mean, in the meantime, there's still a few charges that really aren't changing at all in our lives, right? I mean, rent, we've talked about, groceries. What can we offer people as advice as they're in this environment, especially with rates going higher?
Well, I want to go back for a second because I left something out of my other answer, and that is where people will start to see a more immediate impact if this does become law, and that's in healthcare costs, which is a big one for millions of Americans. If this becomes law, it's going to cap some out-of-pocket expenses for Medicare recipients, and also the government is going to be able to negotiate prescription drugs for Medicare recipients, but they're not going to be able to do that until the year 2025, so folks need to be patient.
Okay, patience, we heard that. Zohreen, assuming that this passes the House, what's next? When does the president sign us? So what does the calendar look like?
Yeah, so speaking of patience, I don't think the president exactly has very much when it comes to this bill. He really wanted to get it through. He wanted to get it through soon. He was encouraging it to be passed. He is on vacation right now, so we don't know exactly when he will sign it, but we know when he does, if in fact it passes, which is expected to, that he wants to have a blitz. He wants to go around the country basically touting this accomplishment. You know, his poll numbers are incredibly underwater right now, 37%. That's really low. And especially when it comes to inflation, those poll numbers are even lower. I mean, look, this is called the Inflation Reduction Act, right? So he really wants to tout this accomplishment, although you did hear Alexis say, look, a lot of this is going to take a very long time to actually take effect.
A very long time, and as you point out, Zohreen, of course, the president and the entire administration has really faced a lot of pressure, Alexis, as far as inflation, as far as what everyday Americans are feeling. And we're in a rising interest rate environment, which of course means any borrowing that anybody does becomes more expensive.
Exactly. Mortgage rates, auto loans, home equity loans, small business loans, all of those things are moving higher right now.
What are you thinking?
Okay, and credit card rates, we've talked about this, but you know, the national average is what, 17%? So essentially that's likely to go higher, and that means whatever you just bought on your card
If you carry a balance, of course, you try not to carry a balance. And one way around it is, well, not around it, but to help yourself, I guess, a little bit, is to pay more than the minimum every month. If all you do is pay the minimum on your credit card, you're really just paying interest. You're never chipping away at the principal. So in this environment of high interest rates and high prices, priority number one needs to be to pay down the debt if you can.
If you can, because that is by far the most expensive debt in this country, credit card debt.
Absolutely.
Alexis, thank you. Zohreen, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.